My magnificent friends, welcome back to a new video. I have a special message for you today, and I hope you're having a beautiful day. I hope you're taking care of yourself, that you're doing something creatively, something that uplifts your spirit. Something that reminds you that when you feel afraid of doing something heavy, you know that you're worthy of overcoming that challenge. The fear that is holding you back right now may be a doorway to your greatest breakthrough. If you embrace it, if you acknowledge its source, when you recognize what is awakening that fear, what thinking pattern is awakening that fear, what belief is awakening that fear. Do you have certain attachments towards something that is not helpful for your growth anymore? It's just important to acknowledge that, so we recognize that it don't need to be a fact anymore. We can move through it without believing in certain illusion anymore. So embrace it, acknowledge its source, and move through it. Don't take for granted voices in your head as facts, because they are just stories from people who never question their beliefs, and that's what you've adopted unconsciously. So we are moving through life, listening other people's opinions about their lives and our lives, and sometimes we just start following the same opinions, the same beliefs, and at some point we just become unaware of that, right? We become unconscious, and suddenly our whole life starts reflecting what we've adopted by society, by our environment, and suddenly we ask ourselves why we feel so limited, why we feel so afraid, why we feel so anxious, why we feel so sad, right? Unhappy, uncreative. Well, because we've started believing and attaching ourselves to certain ideas how life supposed to be. And you don't need to stay there. Like I mentioned before, that maybe the fear that's holding you back right now may be a doorway to your greatest breakthrough. And sometimes we just need to, ask ourselves, what is blocking me right now? And don't take it as a fact. Just ask yourself, what is blocking you? Like what thought, what idea, what feeling? Because even if feeling is holding you back, like you feel anxious, emotion, you feel anxious that maybe you are, you're lacking certain social skills and you have that social anxiety, maybe if that's the fact for you. And because of that, you're afraid to expose yourself to new people. You can stay there, or you can do it anyway and become better at it. Because it doesn't matter how we feel about certain things, we can overcome any challenge by consistent repetition of doing something that is unpleasant until we become good at it. And once we become good at it, it becomes pleasant, right? Like for me, painting was at the beginning, I wanted to learn to paint, but it was unpleasant at the beginning because I had no idea how to mix colors, what kind of brushes to use, how to prepare the canvas. So when I was trying to paint something, I couldn't paint it because I had no skill. So it was unpleasant, but I have that fire, that drive, because I wanted to paint the painting, the picture that I see in my mind. So nothing is pleasant at the beginning. But if we have that drive, the reason why we want to do it, why we want to overcome something, we will overcome it. We just need to have that why, right? Why you feel like you need to do it. Why you feel like you want to succeed there. And the reason need to be bigger than you. Because you can say, well, I want to get that money, I want to get that thing. But once you will get it, what then? So, we always need to have something that is bigger than us. Because otherwise, our motivation and inspiration will be temporary. But there's an infinite flow of ideas, infinite source of potentials, infinite source of motivation and inspiration and drive once we get inspired by something that we want to see on the world, not just in our world, but on the world. You know, when you get inspired by people that are opening their hearts and you say to yourself, well, I want to see more of those kind of people around me. And in order to see more of this kind of people around me, I need to become that version. And I need to be brave enough to embody more of that. Even if it will take me years, I will work on it. And it's same with anything. If you want to be an artist, if you want to be an athlete, if you want to be whatever whatever resonates with you, find a goal, an inspiration that is bigger than anything material. When your reason, when your why is bigger than you, bigger than any material, you start actually seeking something that can be not just good for you, but for others, for people around you. Like if your why is, I want to be a better example in the society because clearly something is wrong on the world. So many people are unhappy and I want to change that. I want to be an example of a happy person. I want to find my passions. I want to find something that is truly inspiring me. And that is bigger than any material thing because money will come, money will find you. More you're following your passions, more ways and opportunities you will find to support yourself. And bigger your dreams, bigger will be the results. So don't worry about that. But remember that if your focus will be just on those physical results, once you will get them, you will lose the drive, you will lose the motivation. And remind yourself that what you are seeking is also seeking you. And also remember, as before I mentioned to you, that don't take for granted voices in your head as facts. The only fact is that what you choose to do with what you have right now, and that you're always divinely supported on that path. So if you look around yourself and for a moment just appreciate your growth, how far you've come, you see how much you've changed. And then you look what you have and you ask yourself, how could I use what I have right now to create what I want to see? That's something I often mention to you. But I remember myself back in the time when I was having that dream of, for example, before I started painting, I had a dream of having a YouTube channel, but I had no idea what to share. So I was making some videos about nature and sounds of nature, and I was making some music for meditations, but I was not enjoying it, doing that so much. So I was never truly inspired for doing that. My only inspiration was that I wanted to see my channel to grow. And that was the big reason that it was not growing, because the drive was not right. It was not enough for me to see the growth, because I was not enjoying it doing that. So I always remind people, well, focus on something that will bring you the joy while you're walking towards where you want to be. Because to me, building a YouTube channel was not the right goal. But then later, when I've noticed that much more joyful to me is sharing a message, combining a message from lessons I've learned, making those art videos with messages. And sometimes I go outside into the nature and I share a message there. Things like that, I've noticed that I'm enjoying much more at doing that. And I've noticed how much I've started growing because I'm doing that on a daily basis. And what I've noticed later is that my YouTube channel started growing because I'm enjoying doing that, and I'm not focusing so much on the results because I just love to do that. And that is an important lesson to me, because sometimes, it's important to have that vision, to have that goal, especially in those interesting times that we are moving through. It's important to fully and deeply ask ourselves, what would I do right now if there would be no money? Because everything is changing so fast. Maybe the financial goals you have for the next 10 years, maybe in the next 10 years there will be no money like we know right now. So focus on experiences. What kind of experiences you want to create in your life? What kind of emotions you want to experience? How you want to evolve? And everything you need to support that path will find you, because that's how the universe works. The universe supports your expansion of experiences, because that's what is providing you growth. And that's what is providing you evolution of your soul. We are evolving through moving through experiences. And that state of awareness, that we are able to see lessons in moment by moment basis, so we can grab them and apply them, and seeing where those applied lessons are leading us, what kind of results they are making, because results are bringing us wisdom, and that's how we are getting wiser, right? So I just want to remind you today that miracles are coming towards you. Your vision is manifesting, money is coming, the right people are coming. It's happening for you right now. Trust yourself. Trust that you are worth it. But saying that I trust myself, that I'm worthy, is not enough, right? We need to tap deeper into it. We need to experience it. So we need to let go of the ideas that are saying to us that we will be worthy when we get that money. Like, I will be worthy when I receive that positive feedback. I will be worthy when somebody will give me a certain validation. I will be worthy when this will happen. Those are wrong ideas. When you tap deeper into your heart, you will just experience that feeling of being enough. Like your heart is beating. Isn't that more than you could ask? Your heart is beating and you are healthy. Isn't that more than you could ask? You have healthy brain. You can think, you can see things clearly. If not, you can do a lot about it. You can declutter your mind. You have that free will. You can declutter your mind. Do some social media detox, some news detox, right? And take care of the fasting of information a little bit. Go into the nature, because nature will support you. And nature will remind you of simplicity. The beauty is in simplicity. When you learn that you don't need to complicate stuff to experience a beautiful life, you will notice that a beautiful life is a product of simple decisions, simple actions that are not necessarily easy actions. But, sometimes people just start complicating. Yes, I need to do this right way, and I need to make sure that my plan is correctly the right way, that everything is finished in details so I can make the first move. But, just start. Make some baby steps today and tomorrow and the next day. And one day you will just look back and you will say, well, I'm so grateful that I took those baby steps, even if I had no idea what I'm doing. You still did it anyway. You've learned the lessons, you failed. And because you failed, you've grown. And because you've overcome some challenges and some painful sensations and that self-sabotaging that came after failing, like you're a loser and all of that, that background voice that's often active, you've learned to overcome it. And on the other side, there's a voice that is saying to you that you're already completely perfectly fine. You're enough. You're okay, you're worthy, and you don't need to prove yourself to anyone, because in the eyes of the universe, you're already a champion. And that's something that you need to tap into it, into that energy that is reminding you that you're whole, that the wholeness is within you. Your mind is often separating you from that feeling of wholeness, but it doesn't mean that it is not present within you. So work on detaching. Take a few moments in a day, like 5 to 10 minutes. Go into meditation and just reconnect with your inner wholeness. And then work on embodying more of it. When you experience anxiety, ask yourself what wholeness would do right now, what love would do, what my future self that is already whole, beautiful, feeling enough, feeling worthy would do in this situation. Doesn't matter how unpleasant it feels like. Ask yourself what wholeness would do right now, and do it. Follow it. You will experience that voice. Yeah, don't do it, you will fail at it. But what wholeness would do? Powerful question. So my friends, this is it for today. I'm sending you lots of love, blessings and power. A quick message about fear, about feeling discomfort, about feeling like there's something missing. My friends, nothing is missing when you feel whole. And when you feel whole, you are a magnet for beautiful things. So everything that you need is coming your way. Stay open, stay beautiful, stay creative. Until next time, one love.